All right, welcome to the review of the part 4 of IBM Professional Data Science class that is available on Coursera. I've just done the part 4 of this whole course, and there is a review about what I've learned from this whole lesson or whole chapter of this course. First of all, these lessons that we learn throughout this class is about terms that is being used in AI, because the chapter was talking about deep learning and machine learning. So of course, it's all about artificial intelligence, how data scientists use the AI, and relationship between machine learning and science, and also regression, one of the most interesting uh, some kind of algorithm that is being explained throughout the class itself. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the terminology. Of course, there's machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, and generative AI. What are all those things? Well, this is the mapping of all of those things. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, and neural network is also a subset of deep learning, because basically deep learning is some kind of machine learning that could learn themselves by using some kind of artificial neurons that mimics the work of human brains. So of course, is contain of multiple layers of neurons so that the computer can learn about new things like the sound of a dog, or maybe the image of determine whether the image itself is a dog or a cat, or at least have some kind of intelligence as level as a human, I think. So in particular, I believe it simulates human decision making and using neural networks. And of course, there's also the generative AI. It's a subset of AI, basically something that whenever the AI themselves try to generate something, maybe image, maybe sound, maybe data, anything that could help human to do their job. For example, in data scientist field is they can generate some data based on the other cluster of data or other small data, or some kind of data that has been collected by the researcher themselves, to make sure that they can use their time effectively, and it could speed up the whole research itself by generating the similar kind of data that has the same kind of pattern as the other data that has been collected. And of course, there's also machine learning algorithms. The application itself is to make predictions and make recommendations. Some of it was probably the predict a credit card purchase is fraudulent or not, is used by using the machine learning algorithms to make sure that the cyber threat cannot be done by some unauthorized people. And of course, there's regression, the most important algorithm in this kind of chapter. It identifies relation with input and output. For example, it predicts the cost of a house based on square footage and number of bedrooms. There was a story that was shared throughout the lesson about a guy who got his master degree by doing a kind of master research on using regression to determine the cost of a house by their size, the house size, or maybe the number of bedroom, or the number of bathroom in the house itself, or maybe the distance between their house to the public facility, or maybe the distance of their house to the mall or something like that. And he found so many interesting insights that could help the housing market in Toronto at his hometown, which is really cool, actually. And of course, there's a recap on this. It's basically I use new data from data, raw data with similar traits. That's what I said before. Deep learning, of course, use neural network and predict the input and output. And of course, use AI with big data, because why do you use big data without machine learning? It doesn't make any sense, because the whole data itself is too big for a traditional means of analytics to be done, because the data itself it's big data, of course. And of course, these are the full weekly resume of what we learned through the chapter 3 and chapter 4. Of course, there's the 5 characteristic of big data, like velocity, volume, variety, veracity, and values. 5 cloud computing characteristics, of course, self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid access, and measure service. Data mining has 6 process, of course, those settings, selecting the source, processing, transforming, mining, and evaluation, and the ability of so many disparate amount of data created by people. Tools machine learning require innovative and scalable technology to drive information transformation. Deep learning, of course, use neural network and to teach himself some kind of better input and output. Machine learning is such of AI. Use computer algorithm to learn new things about data, prediction, inclusivity, programming to analyze the method of the system, regression in the strength and amount of correlation between one or more input and output, like the example that I've said before about housing market and skills involved in the application of statistics, machine learning, like maybe linear and regression, or maybe algebra, of course, and calculus, and also machine learning models and some computer programming. And generative AI is a subset of AI, of course, focused on analyzing and generate something with the data that is not non-existent, but has some kind of similarity with data that it has collected before, and mimicking creation of people to make those kind of data. So overall, the review of this whole chapter, I give it the score of probably 7 out of 10 because the material itself is quite good. The What I mean quite good is quite complete with some kind of example, and why this kind of things is quite cool to learn by anyone or everyone. And also the utilization of the data and all kind of terms that is uh, normally being taught by the data science community is being explained quite detailed on all of these lessons. But it could get some kind of improvement to practical examples, maybe the exploration of Jupyter Notebook, or maybe um, another some kind of statistic examples throughout the lesson. I think the more you have those, the more you have understanding throughout the lesson. We will probably get one of them here or 2 of them here, but we still don't quite have the whole figurative memorization or some kind of real world application that is actually we could try ourselves to make sure that our technical skills could be improved throughout the lesson. So I think that's all. Thank you for listening and see you on the next lesson.